Hello everyone! Today's project is a simple 3D felt cactus. Rounding the corners of the main color will give me a curved form when I'm ready to sew. Also, I'm cutting a little notch here to add to the fullness of the cactus. For the stitching, I'm using a contrasting color of embroidery floss. Pull twice very carefully to avoid tangling the thread, and then cut. And I'm going to separate 2 of the 6 strands, and I'll put the other 4 aside for later. Drape the thread over the needle, pinch, slide it off, and then poke the pinched thread through the eye. Tie a knot at the end, and then start from between the layers so the starting point will be hidden. I'll use a blanket stitch to join the edges. Run the needle through one side to the other, then draw it through the loop and pull gently. Keep using the stitch all the way down the side, and when you get to the bottom, just stitch across, and then come up the other side. If you run out of thread, then just open up the seam a little and tie a knot as close as you can to the edge, and then cut. Rethread your needle, same process, drape, pinch, slide, poke. Tie a knot at the end, trim the excess thread, start back on the inside, and then just keep going. Flatten the top of the cactus and continue the blanket stitching to close the form. When the top is closed, it's time to finish the stitching with the knot. Run the needle into the inside of the form, roll up the bottom edge a little, and tie a knot as close to the fabric as you can. Cut off the extra thread and roll down the felt to hide the knot. For the flower pot, I'm using a small piece of felt, making sure it'll fit around the cactus. I'll use the blanket stitch along one edge, and then I'll roll it into a cylinder and sew the cylinder closed. Now I'll put my cylinder on another piece of felt to trace the bottom of the flower pot. I'll cut that out, making sure it fits, and then I'll use the blanket stitch to sew all the way around. This yellow felt is for the cactus flower, and notching it with little V-shapes will make the petals. I'll go ahead and start sewing the cactus to the flower pot. Add a little polyester or cotton stuffing, and then run the needle across a few times, back and forth, so that inside it might look like the spokes on a wheel. When the cactus is secured to the flower pot, I'll run the needle into the cactus, and this is where I'm going to place the flower. I'll tie a knot in the center, and then I'll stitch around the notches to accent the petals. Finally, I'll run the needle down to just under the edge of the flower pot, tie a knot, and then I'll fold the edge back down to hide the last stitch.